and my own podcast called Conflict Whisperer. So welcome to Netroots Nation 2025 as we have someone that's probably not a traditional politico, that's not a traditional activist, but someone who's got the greatest common sense in the background, and we all need her on the team or like her on the team, I promise you. This is Adrienne Gar out of Buffalo, New York. Hi, and she's one of my sister girls, and that's just doing the work. And you guys, one thing I love about Adrienne is that one, she's a social worker. Now, granted, that is not her whole entire life, but that is okay. Well, whatever. I don't know what they're gonna tell me to do right now. I don't know. Something's happened. Um, but I want to say that she is a social worker and she has brought a perspective to us all in the political work, in the political sphere, a different perspective on doing the work, and especially in the space of gun violence. So, and she just had a panel a little while ago that I sat in on about gun violence. And so, Adrienne, how did you get into the work of specifically dealing with gun violence?
Um, so I actually am what's considered to be a macro social worker. So I chose to just do I chose to do a non-traditional path. So I saw that for most of my colleagues and stuff like that, the pay for like direct services was not that great.
Right.
And I also feel like our scope is much broader than what most people realize.
Okay.
So I got into the gun violence space because I just went after like more non-traditional roles. Like I started out as like a program coordinator, managing like small grants. Like I managed a car seat safety program for a number of years. And then I was just looking to kind of expand my skills and look for other opportunities
Okay.
to like kind of use my skill set just in a different way for communities. And I came across a posting for where I work now, which is Buffalo Snug, and it's modeled after like the Cure Violence model.
Yes.
And so that's how I got into it. I was like intentionally seeking out non-traditional social work roles. So that's why I'm kind of here
Well,
in this space.
why are you at Netroots? Tell us why. I think you might be the only social worker here.
So I am at Netroots because I have wonderful friends, Kadada included, who felt that my presence would be beneficial to gun violence, particularly the space that we're in now, where
Yeah.
$881 million was cut from community violence intervention funding.
That's crazy.
And just to give input on, gun violence intervention as a public, health issue, and also, just it's a public safety. We are actually, when I started, they've changed the name of the office a couple of times, but when I first started, the entity that funds us all was the Office of Public Safety.
Oh wow,
So
the Office of Public Safety, y'all.
So yeah, so we're keeping, and then
The
also
audacity.
too, if there are any social workers, who come across this, that's actually our priority in
Okay.
any situation, whether it's a home visit, whether we are helping out a client in a therapeutic session. We are assessing for safety first, and
Right.
everything else
Yes.
is after
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So that is the main thing that we look for. Nothing happens if a situation is not safe. We want to assess for safety. So
Right.
we're in the right. I'm in the perfect spot for it. But I'm here because of my my expertise in gun violence, community violence intervention, and then I just have like very wonderful, supportive friends who thought it would be a great idea for me to contribute. So that's why I'm at
Listen,
Netroots.
thank you for being at Netroots because we also need the expansion. I think that you work in a space and you work with a bunch of social workers, right? That don't come to these things.
Yeah.
Do they not see themselves as activists? What do you think?
I think that they don't know about it. I actually mentioned it to some of my colleagues across the state, and they're very interested on what I bring back. I think for us as social workers, I think we're a very underutilized resource. So
I think so too.
I actually only know about this. Like I said, I have a friend who helps to coordinate all of these things. If we were not like friends, I probably would not know about this. I've only known about this for the past like really couple years, and Netroots has been in place for quite some time. This is what, the 20th anniversary. So
Listen.
so I had no idea of what this was. So and it's just making connections through like different networks. But I think we would be valuable to Netroots just in, in a variety of different
Yeah,
ways.
I think you would be valuable too. Just and we need to embrace social workers
Mhm.
into the work that we do.
Yeah,
It'd give us a different
we don't just
perspective.
take kids.
That's when you look away
I know, yeah.
and you look to
There's
the
so many
left
ways.
and you
And I
look to the
love my
right.
colleagues in actually child protection work because it's very hard.
Ooh, wow.
It's very hard and difficult, and it's needed. However, our scope is much broader. There are other
Yeah.
things that we actually can bring.
Thank
to
you
the
for saying
table.
that, because I think that is the view of the social workers.
Mhm.
They're just taking kids and they're
Nope.
not even, but social
Nope.
workers can actually help us build community.
Yeah, that's actually one
Build
of the
community.
things that we, again, when we're assessing safety, or again, when we are looking at supports for an individual that may present to us in an office, we
Mhm.
actually assess their social networks. We
I like
assess
it.
how engaged that they are in their community and even like their family, because it's a
Mhm.
protective factor.
Mm-hmm.
If you are going through something, do you have people who support you? Because you're only coming to our office like once a week for an
Right.
hour. You
Right.
gotta leave and go home. Who are
Right.
your people?
People.
Like, who are
Yeah.
supporting you, and can you lean on them? So we definitely help. And then some people, in this day and age, they don't have, and that's a skill that we help them build, is how to make friends, how to engage in your community,
Some
so
of
you
y'all-
can protect, so you can be protected and have support, because we don't get out of this alone. We all need each other. Like, human beings are built for connection.
I'm going to bring Adrian to Atlanta because obviously there's some folk that need to learn how to make friends. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's so
the thing.
basic, y'all. It's so basic.
Yeah.
It's so basic because we do need people, right?
Mhm.
And we need people in this work.
Yeah.
And so I'm not going to keep you long. I'm going to wrap with you, but I need you to tell us, how do we, if we want to incorporate someone like you into the work that we do as Democrats, as liberals, as woke progressives, as whatever, anyone that's focused on gun violence, how do we find you to say, please come and help and work with us?
And so for me, to find like social workers, or to find me, like, just ask around, or like look in your communities, look at organizations like, so we have a big therapy place. It's called Best Self. They employ a lot of social workers, so you can look there. A lot of, I would say, agencies that provide mental health support or even substance use support have like social workers, and even though they may be clinical, they also are capable of doing like macro, like social work and things like that. So you can find us, like, we're all around, or you can actually take a look at your local National Association of Social Work, and there's also a National Black Association of Social Work. So if you have a chapter in your area, you can definitely
reach out to them.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna have to reach out to them from now on. And interesting enough, I do a lot of like, what is it, continuous ed classes with social workers, and I never thought about like bringing you guys in. But I do have a question though, because I was in your panel earlier and I had to run down to do my own interview, and you talk about the public health side of this. And so I'm just wondering, how hard is it for doctors to ask parents, do you have a gun in the house?
It's difficult. It's actually something that they have to be trained to do. And typically it's actually done for pediatric screens.
Right. Yeah.
So if someone is injured, like in a gun involved incident, even though the research shows that it's when it's asked about, people end up being safer some way, somehow. They haven't worked that out. But typically speaking, if it's a person like me or you, they don't actually ask that when they should. But it's a part of a pediatric screen. I think doctors have been trained to just ask those things.
Not in Georgia.
And so in New York State, they do.
They do. That's good.
They will.
I'm a New York girl. I appreciate it.
But yeah, they have to be trained, and that's something that, like, I would say, to get that done in a hospital, you have to find the surgeon, whoever the lead surgeons are, whoever is the most influential, because the surgeons kind of in hospital spaces kind of rule the whole thing. So you have to find your surgeons who are influential at the hospital and pitch that to them and show them the research and see if that's something that can be done. Yeah, you definitely have to get in touch with like the surgeons, and
because it makes sense to me at the pediatric level, right? You have you start asking the families. But I know the argument that's been told to me in Georgia is like, oh my God, the parents are going to feel offended. And I'm like, would you rather be offended or have your child still be alive?
Usually, once it's explained, and again, you have to be transparent, right?
Yeah.
If it's made clear, this is, a safety assessment. We're asking
Right.
for safety,
Right.
and then in my area, when it's asked, the next question to follow up usually is, do you need a gun lock? Are you aware of safe
Yes.
storage?
Yep.
We're not trying to take anything away. Again, safety is our main priority. So in a state like Georgia, it should be made very clear. We're not trying to take anything or get you jammed up. Is it safe at home? That's all we want to know. Are you safe? Are the kids
baby
safe?
Right.
Are y'all safe at home? And if not, we can offer this to you, or here is how you safely store, your firearm.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Gave it concrete. We didn't have to have focus groups. We didn't have to do a special study for it. We didn't have to have committee meetings. None of those things, y'all. We can actually get this done. And we're going to take that little clip and we're going to send it to every legislator and say, listen, it's not that hard, right? And we can, I'm sure we would love to have the support of doctors and surgeons. And they probably were like, listen, we don't want to see anyone else come in here. We don't want to see another child die by gun violence that, could have been easily prevented.
And it's trauma surgeons who deal with it specifically.
Trauma.
So your trauma surgeons are going to be the ones, and emergency and the ER surgeons. The ER surgeons and the trauma surgeons are the ones who deal with the GSWs the most. So you want to talk to trauma surgeons, ER doctors. They're the ones that are going to have the best input and the most feedback and the most to gain by kind of intervening, having those conversations and leading the charge on something like that. Yeah.
Thank you, Adrienne. Thank you, sister. Thank you.
Thank you.
Netroots Nation 2025, y'all. Bye.